Are you as mean as you look in the films?
Well, it depends what films you're looking at.
I mean, why would you continue to watch this crap for this many years? I mean, why would you continue to do it?
Everyone, we're not here to start no trouble. We're just here to do the Super Bowl.
There's no excuses for it. They were unprepared. They were not ready for week one. They were not very well coached. The game plan was terrible. And what is going on, Windy City Sports Talk fans? It's your boy, Brandon Combs, along with my guy, Ryan Fitzgibbons. It's Bears Week 2, Ryan. We were a little off about Week 1. We are at the Fitz compound. Week 1, we were at the Combs crib. But we're at the Fitz compound. So we've got some White Sox stuff in the background. We got the Notre Dame in the background. We got a taped up little electrical panel in the background that, you know, if John Fitzgibbons ever gets off of his ass, he might come and take care of. It's not like you got an electrician in the family or anything, right?
He's going to kill you. You're dead.
He knows where I live. He knows where I live. But at any rate, we've got week 2 of the Chicago Bears.
Yes.
Lots to get to, lots to dive into, lots to dissect here. I don't know where the Bears really go from here. I don't know what the plan is moving forward. Look, it was week 1. I'm not going to...
That's all we got.
Dive off a roof or jump off of a bridge, but I'm a little concerned. And after watching the All-22, I'm even more concerned because there's a lot of things that the Bears were doing that the Bears just didn't do well. And whether it was scheming, whether it was Justin Fields missing some reads, and he did miss some reads.
Yeah, we're going to dig into some of that.
Not afraid to admit it.
Show some tape.
Yeah, and I just, there are some things that really irk me about coaching, and I don't know that if it hasn't been taken care of already that they can necessarily fix it.
Yeah.
So week 1, Green Bay Packers, 38-20, 18-point loss. Neither one of us saw that coming. No. I know I still hear people,
and it wasn't even that close.
Right. And I still hear people talking about how, you know, Jordan Love played such a better game than Justin Fields. And I still don't buy that because
Stop that!
The numbers are comparable. Yes, he threw for 2 more touchdowns, but he was also throwing to wide open receivers, unbroken coverages the entire second half.
And missing some of them, by the way.
Yes, and still missing some of them. Still underthrowing, still overthrowing. Doing things that you expect a rookie to do.
Yeah,
but
true.
I will admit that he did look better than I thought that he would.
Yeah. I mean, some of those third downs, the fourth down, you know, I don't really know what Eddie Jackson was doing there, but I guess you call that alligator arms, but you have to actually be the receiver to have alligator arms. So I don't know what was going on with the coverage there, but he had all the time in the world. But, you know, you still have to deliver the ball. It's like old pitching coaches say, like, that's when pitchers really falter, is when all you have to do is throw a strike here. Right. Oh yeah, that's all you have to do. So I mean, he was composed. He wasn't all that he was built to be. I think there's going to be some accuracy issues there. Probably going to be his easiest game of the season until maybe he plays the Bears again. But I would think the Bears defense would do a little bit better. Really surprised. Not totally surprised, but somewhat surprised they didn't blitz him. I know that's not what the Ace Hardware repairman of a coach does, but I don't know really even what that nickname means, but my dad says that all the time. But I do have a question for you, Combs.
Oh, God.
I have an organization in mind.
Are we trying to switch the show? Or are we going to do a different pregame? We don't want to talk about the Bears anymore?
I did right before the show. I did say, can't we do a Chiefs pregame? But then I'd have to talk about Matt Nagy, and I'm already talking about Matt Nagy. But anyway, at any rate,
stop that.
At any rate, I'm thinking of an organization, and spoiler alert, it's in Chicago. Had a couple good teams, this organization. Coach wasn't working out. He was making weird decisions. So this organization brought in a new coach. They brought in a new coach or slash manager.
I already know.
Could have been either one. Wasn't the top pick out there? Actually, no one thought that they would hire this coach. But they hired a coach. He was an assistant at a team that was, well, not that successful, let's say. Brought him in anyway, though. Team looks kind of lazy. Takes plays off, especially early in the year. Digs themselves a hole. Coaches are saying players aren't doing it. Players are blaming coaches. What organization am I talking about? Am I talking about the White Sox or the Bears?
Both.
I didn't think you were going to say that.
Trick question.
Yes.
I
mean,
yeah.
How are we here already?
I don't know.
How am I already exhausted?
Well, here's the thing. Like, it was week 1. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to tell you that I'm already out on Justin Fields. I'm a little concerned based off what I've watched off of the coaching film. I'm a little concerned, but there's also some logical explanations for possibly why you're seeing a little bit of what you're seeing. Not all of it, because I'm not going to totally absolve him from missing reads and not throwing guys open as opposed to waiting for them to get open. Because there was quite a few times where he should have thrown that damn ball and he just didn't. But when you are running a game plan of a lot of dink and dunk, when you have wide receivers lined up on the same side of the field multiple times running the same exact route to the same sideline, that's a problem. And so I'm not completely out on Justin Fields. I am very, very, last week I told you, I said I have about 85% confidence in this coaching staff. After last week's game, I was down to about 60%. And then after watching the All 22, I'm at about 25%.
Do you want to get into some of the film already, or?
Yeah, why not? Let's do it.
I mean, because we're talking about it. We weren't going to get into it already. But we, I watched some of the All 22, but I found JT O'Sullivan, ex-quarterback. I think he played for the Texans a little bit. He kind of bounced around a lot. Never really stuck, but has a great YouTube channel called QB School. It's great. You can look it up.
So you're going to do what ESPN does, and you're going to make us listen to a quarterback that was never very good, but now is going to break down quarterbacks?
I don't know if we're supposed to say that while we're going to play their film, but he's really intelligent. He's hilarious, and he really breaks down plays really well, better than I can, possibly. But we're going to start probably, I think we start, because you said the coaching staff.
At least JT O'Sullivan never ran out of the back of the end zone for about 13 steps before trying to throw a pass afterwards. So, doing that.
Was that Forrest Gump? No, I'm kidding. Or threw the ball backwards like our second backup quarterback, Nathan Peterman.
Yeah.
But I digress. We started talking about coaching, so I wanted to bring in Getsy, who said, well, if that play's blocked, we gained 15 to 25 yards, and you guys are praising me.
Right.
He said.
Yeah.
If it's blocked, so he's putting his players under the bus. So let's play a play that JT O'Sullivan breaks down. Play like you were just saying, where the receivers are in the same spot.
False start, offense, the entire offensive line.
That wasn't it. You gave me a look like, did you play the wrong? All right, here we go. I won't play that cut again today. Probably not. Anyway, here we go.
So the first part here, just thinking, okay, we're going to do this. This is going to be the matchup we want. Let this thing rip. Okay. I don't think so. The other part that is straight, literally LOL, is this is a corner and a corner. Okay, that's intentional awkward silence. This doesn't exist in football.
I noticed this while watching the All-22.
You don't. I guess I didn't even need a JT Sullivan there, yes. But it's good to hear him say it. At least a guy that's been in football probably his whole life, close to the same age as us. Like, what in the hell?
I don't.
And it happens 3 or 4 times in the game, so it can't be. And it's different receivers, so maybe they're missing their routes if it happens once. But if it happens 3 or 4 times, you're doing it on purpose, and you're basically blocking out your own receiver there.
The coaching ineptitude on this team has me mind boggled, because I felt like we had a somewhat competent coaching staff. However, what the fuck was that? However,
speaking of people saying
stuff,
Shanna says, Shanna said, did this guy seriously just say LOL? Yes. Yeah, he's our age, so
yeah,
you could just laugh out loud, JT O'Sullivan, but okay.
I mean, look, it's JT O'Sullivan, so, you know. But
kicked off. This is how you get kicked off YouTube.
No, it's not. No. I can get us kicked off YouTube if you want me to, talking about the Bears.
I know.
However,
you kill a 100-year-old woman every week.
I do. And yeah, I'm about to start putting our coaching staff in this too. There are things that I also picked up on the All-22, which we've talked about.
No,
right?
I want you to dig into
When I'm watching this film, and when you watch this film, and for some of those that will have watched the All-22 or like to watch the coaching film, I don't know why you would want to if you're a Bears fan, but I'm a nerd, so I watch it. And the thing that I noticed is how they missed this, and I will never have. But when they are running a pass play or a run play, their tight end is signaling it. Cole Kmet is signaling whether or not it is a run play or a pass play. Yeah. And this is how, and I picked up on this. So what do you think professional scouts and defensive coordinators are doing? When they are running to the left, he lines up and his body is slightly shifted to the left.
His entire body.
And when they're running to the right, his body is shifted slightly to the right. And when they're passing, he's lined up straight on. And I told one of the guys that in my class at the Illinois Media School, I told him about this, and he didn't believe me. So he said, all right. And he pulled up the All-22. And he's like, he turned his monitor away, and he's like, I'm gonna pause it before they snap the ball. I want you to tell me what they're doing. And for 10 plays straight, I told him what they were doing.
Oh, my God.
And he was like, holy crap. Like, you've got to... You have got to figure this out as a coaching staff. How do you not see this? And if you're Cole Kmet, how do you not notice you're doing it?
And for two baseball fans, like, you put your hand in your glove on a little angle. That's what Kopech was doing at the beginning of the season. Why he was one of the reasons why he was getting rocked. There's a couple others. I think he might be an idiot, but he was just turning his hand a little bit. The Giants picked up on it and rocked him.
Yes.
And to go to another and then watch the juxtaposition of another fucking sport,
right?
Where an entire body is moved.
And yes. But then you have an offensive line that can't block, first of all. And they can't block when the defense doesn't know what's coming, let alone when the defense is fully aware of what you're doing. And that is why they were able to pick it up. The other thing that Justin Fields was doing that is a coaching problem is on every screenplay, he does not take his eyes off of the intended receiver on a screenplay.
Yeah.
So that's what even the defense picked up on it. You saw the defensive tackle in the third quarter. come in untouched, about to kill Justin Fields, but Justin Fields is staring down the running back. He's like, oh no, this is a screenplay. And he goes back and makes the play on the running back.
Just
a 300-pound lineman. This team, like the coaching on this team is unreal. The mistakes that they made last week
detail
really made them worse than I think that they actually are. I don't think they're as bad as they played last week.
I mean, I certainly hope not, because they'd be worse than last season.
I don't think they're good enough anymore to be a 12-win team. I think maybe they might still be alive for 10, but it's probably now. It went from 10 to 12 after week 1 to between 8 and 10.
We just got to stop predicting stuff. We do not have a good track. I think we were pretty close on the Cubs.
I was going to say, I did have 86, 87 on the Cubs.
Yeah, and it looks like they might get there. We won't talk about that.
Look, I'm already pissed off about the Bears. Let's leave the Cubs for tomorrow night, okay?
All right.
Can we do that? God.
No. All right.
You want to talk White Sox?
No, thank you.
We already are. We're talking about the Bears.
No. Unless we're talking about Luis Robert. I mean, we talk about his a 6-win player.
At least the White Sox won last night.
Yeah, I know. Barely.
Yeah. Against the Perkins School for the Blind. Look, the Bears coaching is a problem. And it's not that they don't have. We can't keep going back to, well, they don't have weapons. They don't have weapons, because they have weapons. Roshan Johnson almost killed a guy last week for the Green Bay Packers. The guy was so angry about how he got run over by Roshan Johnson that he tried to fight Roshan Johnson after the play was over.
Yeah.
And then the next series, Roshan Johnson is not on the field.
Why not? I mean, why would you do that? In that series, too, they throw to DJ Moore twice. And we'll get to that. He was missed on some routes, but he was not the first target on a lot of plays.
Right.
Way too many.
Yes.
Way too many. Yes. We talked a little bit about it on Monday, where, you play the Eagles last year and they go to A.J. Brown like 20 times.
Yes. And here's the thing. I've heard people talk about how this offense needs to open it up. They need to throw downfield. They need to be able to open this up. You want to see 40-yard pass plays and all this stuff. And you want to see if Justin Fields can make these plays. However, if you're doing that, if you're saying that, then you haven't been watching this team to begin with, because that's his most consistent pass play as far as completion percentage goes and as far as accuracy goes, is the deep ball. And you have to be okay with, if we're going to take deep chances, he's going to throw a lot more interceptions. 5 years ago, there was a quarterback in this league who I said was a top 10 quarterback in this league, and everybody laughed at me. And he went out that year, and he was the only quarterback that threw for 5,000 yards and 30 touchdowns. But he threw 30 interceptions, and that is Jameis Winston, and he hasn't been a starter since.
No. So you don't start guys with 30 interceptions.
But why not? I mean, how many times did Brett Favre have 25-plus interceptions?
Yeah, that was a different league.
Well, but he also had 5,000 yards and 30-plus touchdowns that nobody else in the league had.
He could throw. There's no doubt about that.
You can't want a deep ball all the damn time and then complain about him throwing 20 interceptions. Because if you want to open it up, mistakes are going to be made, especially with an offense that only gives him 2.4 seconds.
Yeah, I know.
Behind the,
but then you put in a jumbo set.
Yes. And I've said,
protect.
I've said he doesn't have 3 seconds to throw. And then I started looking up stats as far. Tom Brady's average release was 2.2 seconds.
Oh, it's not. He's crazy.
But you know what they did? How many times did we look at the New England Patriots and be like, oh, yeah, it's a downfield offense? It was never. No, they had 2 guys running freaking cross patterns that he would throw to whoever was open.
Yeah. I mean, there was some deeper stuff they did when they had those really good Patriots lines when they were the best offense of the league and you were waiting for Randy Moss to get down.
Yeah.
But you don't have to wait long for Randy Moss to get downfield back then.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy ran like a deer.
But they throw 54 touchdowns at year.
Yeah, it was insane. So there was some of that. But I mean, especially as that Tampa offensive line after the Super Bowl got worse and worse each year than the next 2 years. He did have to get rid of that ball faster, but I mean, that's the league now. You do have to get the ball away pretty quickly.
Thomas says, seems you guys aren't the only one watching film. Bears opened at a -1.5 on Monday. Now they're a +2.5.
Wow. Against Tampa Bay. If you would have told me that 2 weeks ago, I would have laughed.
They've got a good defense. However, I watched that game against Minnesota, and it seemed like anytime you were able to get pressure on that offensive line, which you can get pressure because they don't have a very good offensive line. They're a lot like the Bears in that respective. But the difference is that Baker Mayfield was he was curling up in the fetal position in the first half.
He only plays well out of the – you have to have a really good running game for him to play well.
Well, he will put his body out there, which is why I was surprised that he was curling up, because there was some plays in the second half where he almost got his head taken off. But he didn't care. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, so I'm looking to see. I'm looking for better coaching. I'm looking for, and if I see this stuff again, I'm telling you right now, if I was Ryan Poles, and I said this on Monday's show, I would have been at the locker room and I said, meet me in your office. I would have been in there and I would have went into Matt Eberflus and I said, look, you have until the end of the Chiefs game to figure this out. Because if we are 0-3 after week 3, somebody else is finishing out this season because I made a mistake.
Yeah. I mean, and the other, I made a couple mistakes too. Chase Claypool thing we'll get to in a minute, but you do have a team
guy
here.
Be inactive this week. He
He's
better
active.
be inactive.
He's active. He's going to play. The wide receiver coach said that he's having better practices this week, or I should get the actual quote.
He better have four or more catches.
I'm not saying it verbatim, but we should get the actual quote from the receivers coach. But what, he wasn't ready last week after an entire training camp?
If I don't leave this game saying Chase Claypool, there's a Chase Claypool we traded for. Yeah. He needs to be deactivated and cut. I mean, you got to cut it. You've got to cut your losses because this guy does not want to play football. You should have known this already because there is a reason. If you can't play for Mike Tomlin, what makes you think you can play for Matt Eberflus?
Yeah, I know. Well, obvious Tomlin wanted him out of here, and look what Pittsburgh did. They pitted the Bears against the Packers.
Yeah.
And the Packers was going to give it up their second pick. So Packers fans could say what they want. They were ready to give away the pick to get another guy for Aaron Rodgers last year. And the Bears swooped in, blocking the Packers. But, it was like kind of right after. I think it was
Bears swooped in and never won a game with Chase Claypool.
I know. It was right after the Patriots game. It wasn't far after that. The offense looked great. The offense still played well. It's not like the offense didn't play well after week 7 or 8.
They were 3-4 after week 7.
Yeah, and it looked like, and that's why the season could have turned a different way last season.
Yeah.
Not that they were making the playoffs with that team, but they could have won 7 or 8 games, like you've said before. Yeah. But they did not win another game. And they still have an 11-game losing streak. And they're going in against a team again. You don't have a good offensive line. Nate Davis is going to be out. We did talk a lot of shit about Nate Davis, but apparently he has a family member that died.
Yeah, he's going through some things mentally, and look, I get it, but like you could have saved us all a lot of what the hell's going on if you would have just said, hey, look, he's got some family stuff going on. We're going to let him take care of things. Everybody would have backed off. But you didn't do that as an organization. Again, you just left us out there wondering like, what's going on. Like, we just see that this guy's not showing up to practice.
Yeah, I know. I mean, they probably should have, but you don't know what to do in that situation. You got to kind of lean on the player, and him being young. Someone dies close to you, like you have no idea what to do after that, especially if you haven't experienced it before. You don't know, do I tell people? Do I not tell people? Do I go here? Do I wake up in the morning? Do I get out of bed?
I still don't know how to handle it.
Yeah. No, I did. I didn't earlier in this year. Yeah. And, but you are going against a team now. That's another lineman down and a team that blitzes 2 times more than any other team in the league or close to. They blitzed the first week. Was it 38 or something like 40% of the time, whatever it was. Yeah. And the average is like 20% in the league. So I don't know if Tampa's going to, especially with a team that screens as much as the Bears. I don't know if Tampa's going to blitz that much, but
if you see in the first quarter them run, let's say, over 3 screens, are you breaking your TV? Because I'm watching the game with you today, so I'm fair warning. I might break your TV.
Look, the TV down here is old. I don't care what happens to it. Actually, replacing it would be a favor to me. So if it breaks, it's okay. The 77-incher upstairs, I'll choke you out.
We should watch. We should watch the game down here.
Yeah, maybe, but yeah, I mean, it does scare you.
Yeah.
Todd Bowles, pretty good coach, pretty good defensive coach, at least. Maybe not a good head coach, but definitely a defensive coach. Thought the Bears might have picked him up. I mean, wasn't he with the Bears organization for a little bit as a linebacker coach or something like that? And I thought the Bears might pick him up, and they didn't. He went to Tampa. Just like the Sox didn't pick up AJ Hinch, but they have Pedro Cafal.
Yeah. This should be this should be a good matchup today. But let's get some more.
You want some more film?
Let's look at the Justin Fields stuff.
Okay, Justin Fields stuff. So yeah, Getsy says, if that play works, whatever. Sort of puts the blame kind of on the players, or mostly on the players. And let's maybe see why. This is, again, JT O'Sullivan, QB school. Great way to watch.
You might hear an LOL.
You might hear an LOL out loud. So here we go.
For my money, that's open. Certainly the deep hook is open. They're all going to get us easy first downs. This feels like we've got like some vision issues. Throw it. The only person that's not going to get us a first down is the flat. And that's really it. Maybe the tight end down here to the bottom. We got to throw it. And again, I get it that we can't pass off the
And he says he can't pass off that left side, but everybody's open on the right side. I mean, Justin Fields is right.
And he's right. I mean, JT O'Sullivan is correct. I wish that when he was a player, he could have saw it the way that he sees it now, because he might have
it's
actually
easy when you're
had
sitting,
a relevant name.
When you're sitting in your leather-bound chair with your it is a little different. He does say that to his point.
I just kid, by the way, JT O'Sullivan. I'm just a boob in the basement doing a show.
Yeah, with a busted.
But I say it about Dan Orlovsky too whenever he's on ESPN. Look, and to be fair, you guys are both way closer to Joe Montana than I am to you guys. So don't get me wrong. Like, I understand my place, but I just,
Yeah, no, you gotta. Yeah, don't look at his stats, or you won't want to listen to him again. But I mean, he makes salient point, and there's 3 guys open, and there's not 3 guys, and he's doing it in slow motion, and he does say a lot. I'm sitting here, so it's a little different, but
he has that slot though.
He has 3 guys
plays
open for a good second. And the second in the NFL is an eternity.
Yes.
Throw the ball.
You got to throw your receivers open. You can't wait for them to get open.
No,
you have
that was
as soon as he
open.
makes that cut. There's another play that we don't have the clip for, but there's another play where they have
I picked that play because there's 3 guys open, so he can make he just doesn't make a decision. Like, there's something going on there. But go on.
So they have another play where they have the slot receiver, and he makes a cut, and as soon as he makes that cut, he's open. But Justin Fields doesn't throw the ball. And he had time. Now, plays where I'm not blaming Justin Fields are plays like this other one that we have queued up with Braxton
Jones.
Jones.
Was too many of
where
these.
I'm just like, what and this is why this play right here, it's exactly why I believe Justin Fields might still be holding on to the ball too long, because he can't trust his offensive line to block. And so he is afraid that when he cocks back, he might be getting stripped. But
looking for
at the
running
same time,
lane.
you can't play that way in the NFL if you're going to be a quarterback. If that's what Justin Fields is doing, he needs to correct that immediately, or he's not going to be a starting quarterback in this league.
And for him to just say there's vision problems, like, that's troubling.
Yeah.
Which, who knows? Maybe his head was rattled. I don't know. Okay. We'll go to the next play, and I have this titled Braxton Jones.
Yeah.
Ooh, the Bears did not get a left
Yeah,
tackle
this
because
is-
of him.
I already
Here we
know
go.
what this play
JT
is.
O'Sullivan.
Just watch him. Watch him after he does whatever the hell he does here. This is not acceptable at any level. I mean, he thinks he's doing like Bear Jacks. B-E-A-R-S. Bears.
All right, I stopped it. I don't know what was going on there. Why are you sliding over? Did
And
you
it
not even
wasn't
see
the only
the
time
end?
it happened.
And there's no way he does say at the end of there, like, you cannot play quarterback in the NFL with this. He does say that
can't.
at the end to be favorable. Like, you cannot do that.
Dude, like, what were you like? Okay, I missed the block here. Let me just do some side steps and open turf, like
Try to find another defender to block, I guess, which happened a lot.
to make it not look so bad, like you were supposed to pull. But the other thing on that play, is Justin Fields is faking the handoff and rolling out to the left.
Yeah.
The whole line goes to the right. The whole line goes the opposite way of where Justin Fields is rolling out. Aren't you
Misdirection?
supposed to roll out to the side
Yes.
you're blocking on?
The strong side, usually. It's misdirection.
It's a miss
Look at your
something.
face.
It was.
Miss
I don't,
misdirection.
I don't know. I don't get it. The coaching is mind-boggling bad. And maybe it was just week one, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna find out very quickly
A lot
today.
of sloppy play.
Maybe it was just it was week one. They didn't play a whole lot. They probably should have, and these guys were just missing assignments, whatever the case is. But they need to really change some things, as Shannon Stiso says, drinking my tears from my black coffee in my White Sox mug.
Oh my God. That's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough being a White Sox fan
And a Bears
and having
fan.
to watch this.
And a Bear. So if
Yes.
you're a White Sox fan in this city and a Bears fan in this city, you like look, there's hotlines you can call. I'll put my number out there if you ever need somebody to talk to.
As soon as I put this hot poker in my ass, I'm going to chop my dick off.
Yes, I just
Take your pick. Hot
yeah.
poker up the ass or chop your dick. I guess I'd take the hot poker, but
I mean, look, you pretty much do both when you're a Bears and White Sox fan right now. But I just don't. I really
You can't
hope
even
this was an
speak.
aberration.
yeah.
I really do, because if it wasn't, and if this is what we're going to have, the number one again, and maybe the number two with Carolina's pick.
God. Does Gale Sayers and Dick Butkus out there in the draft?
Well, Dick Butkus. I mean, he was at the game. There's
He was
another
at the game,
dude,
which
I'd
is
rather
pretty
see
cool to
him out
see
there
him.
with his cane coaching this team at this point.
He
He
had a
would have
quote.
killed. He would have killed Chase Claypool.
Yeah, he had a yes.
He
Even
would-
even at his age,
Yes.
he had a quote like, "Where's a quarterback that I can sack out here?" or something
Yes.
like that.
Yeah, because if Chase
Still
Claypool would have
very
defended
with
himself
it.
the way he played last week, he would have just stood there and took it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Can we get a Fitz gibberish?
God, I guess so. It's gonna be. Hello, folks.
I hate my life. Oh my God, what are you doing?
It's a special Fitz gibberish today.
Oh God.
It's a diatribe, a conspiracy theory, and it's an island in the middle of some unapologetic and inaccurate sports talk. Yes! I put a hat and sunglasses on. I'm supposed to look like a head coach. This is the Bears can't coach. I'm going to be the Bears coach today. Yes! Today is a special Fitz gibberish. Today, I'm going to perform a pep talk for your Chicago Bears.
Did you buy that hat just for this segment? The
I'm going to
sticker's
keep
still
that
on the
question
hat.
open. I'm going to keep that question open. If you're thinking of Fitz gibberish inspirational speech to a Bears team that almost definitely doesn't watch Windy City Sports Talk is kind of like trying to give a hand job to a eunuch, you'd be right.
You look like you're trying to give a hand job to you right now.
I should be wearing like a rain jacket or something. I look like a flasher. Anyway, and you're probably listening. Then you're probably listening to the wrong show. But here we go. Today, gentlemen, we create our future. Not Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay fans, half of which are probably or definitely on bath salts. Sure, Michael J. Fox taught us that traveling into the future could give you Parkinson's, but you're looking at a man whose liver resembles a dead pufferfish. We can't worry about the consequences. We have to lay it all on the line today. Did Lovie Smith worry about the consequences when he let a QB start a Super Bowl with a 54% completion rating? No! Did Dave Wanstead worry when the Bears traded the 11th pick in the draft for QB Rick Meyer, who could not throw a football and would go on to have 0 TDs and 6 interceptions in his Bears career? God, no! He wore his mustache proudly. That's Dave Wanstead. Even though it looks like it was drawn there by my 5-year-old. Does Combs care when he wishes for the death of a 100-year-old woman every week on this show? Fuck no. YouTube might ban us for life, but there's always Rumble. Not? Sure, you pussies understand this, but life is short. Feel like just yesterday I was getting hard-ons from Sally Field and Forrest Gump. Now look at me! Most people barely find what they're going to do. And if they ever do, they're too old or tired to pursue it before the reach of grim death drags them down. For men your age, a summer day can seem to last a lifetime. For me, it's gone like a poof of my wife's hairspray. This is your time. And before it vanishes, how do you want to be remembered? Do you want to be remembered like Lovie Smith or Dave Wanstead or Rick Meyer or even worse, Brandon Puffy Combs? You have to play every game like it's your last. Like it's your last. Speaking of brevity, we have fans who eat beef and cheese for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They have diabetes, hearts that pump gravy instead of blood, heavy drinking problems, and livers that are going to explode like hand grenades before the end of this decade. They need a winner a lot sooner than any of you do. They help pay your salary, and most of them have been living and dying by this team since you almost dripped down the crack of your mom's ass and ended up as a brown stain on the mattress. I'm looking at you, Jaquan Brisker. I like the way you play, but you don't like when you want the fans to stop booing. How about you have no fans at all? Or how about this for an idea? You go out there and play like a football team and not like an undisciplined, untalented, uninspired hunk of bukkake. If you don't know what bukkake is or means, please don't look it up. Trust me, it's not good or pleasant. Now, you are going to go out there and beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers like it's 1989 and Vinny Testaverde is logging his 5th losing season in a row. You're going to demolish Baker Mayfield like he's the second baby mama to appear on your wife's Instagram page with a pot belly and a handout. Win, damn you! Because Mahomes and the Chiefs are coming next week along with Andy Reid and his creepy man boy Matt Nagy. Second Matt Nagy. Reference, sorry. And that's Fitz gibberish. Thanks for listening. Combs.
All right, so I mean, it was really well said. I can't. I mean, it should be how every Bears fan feels.
Yes.
You know, I mean, with, the references in there to bukkake, and which again, if you don't know what that is, he said not to look it up. I encourage you to look it up.
No.
So
Stop that.
I This Bears coaching staff is just a joke.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a joke. I couldn't have said it any better myself. I'm still dying.
Doubting Thomas said he's returning the hat after the show.
Shannon says Rumble is better than YouTube.
Got some good Russell Brand.
She also said he's looking like the NFL fans roaming around the streets on a Saturday night on Broad Street in Nashville.
Possibly.
And she said, if you know what it is, you know better than to look it up.
Yes.
All right. So, look, we've got Tampa Bay. Let's put Green Bay behind us. Let's go into this week. What do you need to see from the Bears on a coaching level to think that we have a shot this week? To go out there and what do you want them to do? What changes in the game plan other than everything? Because that probably is the correct answer. But what do you want to see from a coaching perspective? What do you want to see them do more often, less often? What do you want to see?
There's a stat out there that I heard this week. When Josh Allen runs the ball 10 times in a game, guess what the record of the Buffalo Bills is? They're 18-2 when he runs the ball 10 times. So
another Josh Allen stat is that they're 0-5 in overtime since he's been a starting quarterback.
That's the problem. Yeah, that's that team has some trouble.
Yes,
too. And then maybe I should stop comping Josh Allen to Justin Fields, but anyway,
different offensive line.
Yeah, I would like to see Fields run the ball a little on some design runs, even though I've said many times on the show I don't want him to run as many design runs as he ran last year. I mean, he was doing 7 to 10 last year, but you have to at least have at least 5 well-designed and well-placed and planned runs with him. You have to play with the players you have, not the players you wish you had. Mike Martz, fucking Matt Nagy. You have to have a game plan that's more favorable to Justin Fields and like back up whatever you did to the kid. Yeah. Because this is not the kid that came in when Andy Dalton got hurt in the Pittsburgh game and was smiling with 1.5 minutes left and led the Bears down. And if it wasn't for some just awful ref calls, would have led the Bears to victory back in 2021. Who's smiling and calm as a cucumber in that game in Pittsburgh, by the way. Not a great Pittsburgh team, but a pretty good defense. We need that guy back. I mean, there was a thing on Twitter where they showed his drop back in that Pittsburgh game, and he gets rid of the ball in like 1.3 seconds, and then they show his drop back in the Green Bay game. He's not even at the back of his. First of all, it's a 5-step drop. And weird, it was a Nagy offense, and he had a 5-step drop. It was a 7-step drop, so it's going to take a little longer. But it takes him almost 3 seconds to get rid of the ball, and he goes to his first read. Like, what's ever happened to this kid? Like, you better put him in a position to play like he's playing backyard football. I mean, if you want to save your job, I mean, it's save your job time. Maybe the best running quarterback of all time, at least. One of the best, top 5 maybe ever. I mean, just with that one season, I mean, just you could just look at it. You have to use that. I mean, even Patrick Mahomes uses his leg. He runs for about 500 or 600 yards a season.
Yeah,
he had 50 yards in the game that they lost to. Who they lost to? I don't even care.
Yeah, I think what they got to do is
they lost to Detroit.
For me, you've got to go back to what you went to starting in week 7 of last year. Whatever that was, whether it was you were letting Justin Fields just determine what he wanted to do, whether you gave him free reign to audible, whatever it was that you did after week 7 last year, you need to go back to. Because that was working. And the difference is this time in the second half of games when you're winning, you don't go away from what is working because you're trying to win games this year. Mm-hmm. That's for me, that's what I want to see from a coaching perspective. I don't want to see this 4 screen passes every 7 plays. I don't want to see wide receivers on the same side of the field running the same route to the same dad's sideline. The object is to spread out a defense, not to bring a defense together.
Yes.
And I want to see Justin Fields throw guys open. I want to see him read better on the routes.
Yeah. Anticipatory throws would be nice.
Yes. And look, I know that he knows this. I know he watched the tape. I know he knows what's going on. And I know his offensive line is dog shit. I mean, we saw. I mean, what Braxton Jones did last week is unacceptable. That's unacceptable when I'm coaching at the Pee Wee level, let alone at the NFL level. I mean, it's mind-boggling to what he's doing. He's like, I missed my block. Don't let me try to catch up to the guy. Let me just slide to the right.
I guess it's a passing play, so he can't go forward.
Maybe he had his AirPods in.
I would almost turn backward and see, like, okay, what did I miss?
Maybe he had his AirPods in and was listening to Casper Slide, and it was that part where it was like, slide to the right, slide to the right. I don't know what was. Yeah, I don't know what was going on there, but it's bad, and it's got to get better. I mean, the coaching staff has to be better. You have to make sure that you adjusted what Cole Kmet was doing so that he's not signaling exactly whether or not it's a run play or a pass play. That would certainly help in the NFL to not let defenses know what you're doing.
Deception's good.
Yeah, deception's very good. And utilize Roschon Johnson more, because he is a guy that you can really, with his brutal downfield style that he runs, you can utilize that and you can turn that into play action. And you got to utilize the play action a lot more, and put Justin Fields in the position.
Is Roschon Johnson the starting running back?
Well, Deontay Foreman's out. Foreman's out this week. And
I like him.
He's definitely probably the backup, if not the starter. I do like Khalil Herbert. The difference is with this line, I'm not so sure you can really have a finesse runner running 90% of your plays. You kind of need that hit me and I'm going to knock you over type running back. So I do expect to see more from Roschon Johnson this week than we did last week. I expect to see him actually get a bulk of the carries today.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
Wow.
And so I mean, if they're smart, they do it. I just look, the way this offensive line looked and the way that this team looked and the way that the coaching film looked, I don't think I can pick the Bears to win today. I just don't. I think this defensive front seven of Tampa Bay, which is pretty damn good, they've got a good coaching staff, and I don't know that they can block him. I don't know that they can.
Levante David is a grown ass man. I mean, that guy's pretty scary, and I don't know if you're breaking a lot of tackles. Even though they have him listed at 233 pounds, he's probably heavier than that now.
And he's going to make Braxton Jones shit his pants. Or hold him on every play.
And I don't know. I don't know if you get away from those guys, even Justin Fields. Maybe he does half the time. But I don't know if you're whipping one of those guys off your back like he does a lot of players that go high.
That's another thing I want to see from Justin Fields. If you're trapped off the end, throw the fucking ball away.
Yeah.
Don't take the sack.
Yeah.
Especially in the red zone. I mean, that's rule 101. Like you don't take a sack in the red zone.
He's done that a lot where they're in field goal range and they're out of field goal range because he took a sack.
If anything, they're coming on you. Just throw the damn ball out of the back of the end zone. That's all you got to do.
Yeah. It's I mean, I can't go with you there. I mean, I think they have to for not just the sake of the team, but for the sake of the show win today. Because if they go 0-3, it's hard to believe that defense beats the Chiefs. But Matt Nagy might still be the offensive coordinator.
Well, yeah, and that game, that Alabama game last night really shows you how an offensive coordinator can really bring down an offense. Tommy Rees, he turned Alabama into a pedestrian offense. And I'm here for it because I hate Alabama, so I was here for it yesterday.
Oh, yeah,
I think Matt Nagy can bring the Chiefs down to the Bears level. I really do. And so I'm hopeful, but I'm just not. I just don't see it. I don't see.
Is-
I don't.
is-
110 degrees today. They were cramping up and gassed last week in Chicago because of it was warm.
76.
110 in Florida today.
Jesus.
That's not good.
No.
So
No.
I just everything
Wasn't
lines
this-
up against it.
And
Everything,
wasn't this team not? And this was a conditioned team last
Yeah.
year. This was a second half team, no doubt. No matter what criticism you want to give them, everything's fair from last season and probably this season. But everything. But they were conditioned. They were a second half team most of the season. When it got down last 2-3 games, not so much. You could say they were throwing their head in there, trying to get the first round or the first pick of the first round. But I don't see the conditioning from last year. They were out. They were acted like a young team, which they are. They're one of the youngest teams in the NFL. They acted like a young team last year who could definitely. I mean, there was that they were down 28-3 against the Vikings. Boom, it's 28-25. You can go on. I mean, that was a tight game against the Patriots. They end up winning 34-13, I think it was.
Yeah.
That their second half they just blow out the Patriots, and you started to count on it actually throughout the season. We didn't see any of that.
And I don't know what it is. From Justin Fields this week, I mean, you've got to be better. You've got to be better. Plain and simple. Look, I defend Justin Fields. I'm a Justin Fields fan. As a matter of fact, I wore the City Connect Justin Fields jersey just because when I'm driving home, if they blow it out their ass today,
Shut up.
nobody will notice that I'm wearing a Bears jersey. So I did wear this one on purpose this week. But you've got to be better. You've got to be better. You've got to throw guys open. You've got to stop being scared in the pocket. You know your offensive line is trash, so you need to prepare like your offensive line is trash.
Yeah, you're 6, 7, 8, maybe 10 games away from being a backup quarterback.
You've got last week he had 3 seconds in the pocket, they say, but I mean, I'd say at 1.8 seconds of that was him evading the rush inside of the pocket. So I want to see him get rid of the ball quicker too. I want to see a 2.4 second release time from Justin Fields this week. I want to see our guy that we traded the number 1 pick for instituted into the game plan. And I want to see him targeted. And you better be looking his way a lot this week.
It would be nice.
Yeah.
I mean, he had a couple of decent anticipatory passes. Mooney in the back of the end zone was a beautiful play.
Yeah.
He even moves the safety on that play, but there was a lot of bad. Like, I did not expect that. They said he was that he was releasing the ball better in camp. I mean, I know that's camp, but that's what I was expecting.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, it is what it is. We're going to find out today. I don't know. Jeremiah Murray says the Packers are the youngest team in the NFL, and they made their bukkake all over the Bears in the second half. Shanna says you could blend in when they play the Titans with that jersey.
Stop that.
Is Justin Fields
0-1 too, by the way.
Justin Fields to that point? Is Justin Fields maybe turning in? Does he have a Ryan Tannehill career where he goes on to another team? And I think he's got definitely better talent than Ryan Tannehill, but where he does well on another team that
if Justin Fields is Ryan Tannehill, I'm going to kill myself.
He had a couple good seasons with the Titans and was better than people thought he was in Miami.
He didn't have a couple of good seasons with it. He had a couple of seasons where he let the defense do the work, just like Rex Grossman did, and he handed the ball off to a freaking god in the back.
Derrick Henry. He rode Derrick Henry like a kid in a pool.
They loved Ryan Tannehill had such a great season that when they were down by 20 in the fourth quarter, they were running the ball.
He was more accurate. He was more comfortable, and I know they had a great line. I know all that stuff, but he definitely played well.
Pass attempts a game. They didn't
Some
throw the
games he
ball
did.
at all.
I know, but his stats did get better, and he did look better.
Yeah, I mean, it's easier to be
True.
10 of 13 than it is to be
when
20
you have a
of 52
well-built team around you.
I get it, but
Purdy,
if he's Ryan Tannehill, I'm not happy. I'm not happy.
That's what I'm saying. Does he go off and have a better career somewhere else? Because this is where quarterbacks come to die. And does he go somewhere else? And is he better? Does he flirt? Does he have a Mike Vick type of career?
I'm telling you right now,
where the Falcons really never got him, other than going into a championship game and losing to the Packers. The Falcons never really got Michael Vick together until he went to Philadelphia.
If this regime
and killed dogs
does not turn it around, rather quickly, Ryan Poles has one more opportunity to go get a coach, and he better go find a coach that can run an offense, because it needs to turn around quickly. In this NFL, you can't win predicated on defense alone. You have to have an offense that's able to go out and win shootouts. And if you're going to beat the teams like the Kansas City Chiefs or the Cincinnati Bengals or the Buffalo Bills or the Philadelphia Eagles, you are going to have to score 35 to 40 points.
Yeah.
And that's if you have a good defense. So you need to do something with the offense. You have to. And if not, then I don't know.
Jeremiah checking in again. What I took from the all 22 is Justin is so concerned with going through his progressions that he's skipping open receivers just to get to the next one. I mean, it could be on that one play we played. 3 guys are open. He might be trying to get through the entire progression. Like, throw it to one of those guys.
I mean, that play too, he didn't have. He had guys open, but not Justin Fields open. You get what I'm saying? Like, he had those guys where you have to throw them once they make that cut. Yeah. Because once that second receiver on the shorter out route, once that receiver breaks open, it's because the linebacker shifts over to the left, so he's even more open. You've got to throw that ball to where he's going to be, not to where he's at. And that's where I think that's the problem that I have with Justin Fields, and that's what I took from that. And he was actually, with Jeremiah and I talking on Monday back and forth on the show, he was about halfway between what I said he was and what Jeremiah was saying that you would see on the tape. He wasn't as bad as Jeremiah would suggest, but he wasn't as good as I was suggesting either. He was about halfway in between.
No, I thought he had a better game until I saw the film.
Yeah,
I really did. I mean, I thought it was the game plan. And then you see, even on the interception, DJ Moore's wide open. I think it's DJ Moore. Pretty sure it was. Long, and then you had another guy in the flat that was open. Like, I know it's late in the game and it's 3rd and long, but that's why I almost say. But that play was really concerning too. The only reason why I didn't show it is everybody knows the interception was bad. I wanted to show a few other plays where it looked like the scheme was good and he still didn't get it off.
Yeah.
So.
But winning cures all, because if they win that game last week, we're not looking at the tape as closely as we did. And so if they go out and they win this week, it might be a completely different tune. I'll still watch the all 22 because I do it every week anyway.
Yeah.
But it's one of those where you've got to come out. I just don't expect them to do it. And winning cures all things. And last week you did not pick very many winners.
Do you want to spin the wheel?
We're gonna spin the wheel after we make our picks. We're gonna do. Okay. We're gonna leave people
in suspense
with the wheel. That's gonna be the last thing that they see is what your punishment is going to be.
Okay.
Because going through these picks, if you're betting, if you're a sports gambler, last week I was 11-4, and my counterpart was 6-9.
Oh boy!
So. It was pretty bad.
Up your butt, Joe Boo.
It was pretty bad.
Thanks, Joe Boo.
But we're gonna see if you can turn it around this week.
I'm picking every team you pick.
So
I'll disagree.
We're gonna let you go first.
Great.
And we're gonna start with our nemesis to the north: Packers versus Falcons. 12 o'clock today on Fox. What do you got here? Packers, Falcons. Both teams 1-0. Both teams 1-0, and both teams were actually pretty impressive last week.
I got to take the Packers. I ain't going with my heart again this week.
You shut your damn mouth.
I ain't going. I ain't.
All right. You go Packers.
I know. All right.
I'm going with the Falcons actually on this one. I don't think that the Packers are as good as they showed last week. I think that Jordan Love isn't as good as we showed last week, and I think the Falcons defense is better than the Bears defense, which is tough to say. And I think Jordan Love might throw a few interceptions this week, and I think Algier, the running back for the Falcons, is a stud, and I think he's going to run. He's going to show the weakness of this Packers, and that is to stop a run that they don't know is coming. That's the key. Don't let them know the run is
Yes,
coming.
I mean that's always a good idea.
Yes. So I'm going Falcons. You're going Packers. So we're already opposite on one pick. And we've got Raiders and the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo Bills coming off a tough loss on Monday Night Football. Not as tough as a loss as the Jets had in their victory. But I don't know what was faster. How fast the White Sox fell out of the playoffs this year, or how fast Aaron Rodgers' season went this year. I don't know what was faster.
That 1 year, bro, I fucking broke my back pretty much.
Yeah, thanks, Joe.
Yes. So Raiders and Bills, I'll go first on this one. I'm going to go with the Buffalo Bills. I think they turn it around.
I agree.
I think Josh Allen has a better performance. I don't think he throws 3 interceptions.
Another
Unless he just
sloppy
likes
game,
getting
too.
defensive players their bonuses every week. Josh Allen is going to turn it around. He's going to have a good game, and they're going to be angry. And I think they're going to beat the Raiders pretty handily this week.
Yeah, it's a slot. It was another one of those sloppy games.
Yes.
Like really, they should have beat the Jets even after, especially after the injury. But even with Aaron Rodgers, they should have probably at least played better in that game. If Aaron Rodgers plays that game, probably lose a lot.
Yes.
To a little, but yeah, I think they'll play better. And I got the Bills. Go on.
All right. This is probably going to be one of the better games at 12 o'clock, where if the Buccaneers start destroying the Bears, we can turn it on over. But it's going to be the Ravens and the Bengals in Cincinnati. 12 o'clock kickoff. Looks like it's going to be sunshine there. Who you got?
Are you marking these down? Because you're not going to remember this.
I can play back the tape.
Okay. You're going to play back.
It's on camera.
Well, I think another bounce back here. I don't think Joe Burrows has 2 bad games in a row. They're in Cincinnati. I got Cincinnati. It's going to be a good one, though.
Yeah, it is going to be a good one. I do think the Bengals are going to bounce back offensively. I don't think they're going to have another bad game, but I think that the Ravens offense with Mark Andrews back in the mix is actually going to outscore. This is going to be a shootout, and I think that the Ravens win this one.
Oh, you're going back and forth.
I think the Ravens are going to win this one.
Like waffling back and forth like a politician over there.
I'm taking the Ravens. I'm taking Lamar Jackson, and I think their offense. I think the Ravens might be the winner of the Super Bowl this year. They're that.
Oh, you heard it here first. The guy who had the Bears winning 12 games thinks the Ravens are going to the Super Bowl.
So that means the Ravens are going to. Their only win was
first
last
pick.
week.
Yes, they'll have the first pick in the draft come next year.
That'll be the Bears. So yeah, I'm going Ravens. You're going Bengals. We've got the Chargers and Titans at 12 o'clock in Tennessee. Shanna might be going to the game.
Oh, okay.
She might be turning into a Titans fan. I don't know. She lives out in Tennessee. I would go to the game.
Why not?
Why not?
Why not go to the game? Beautiful city. Probably beautiful down there. It was raining earlier today here.
Absolutely. So Chargers, Titans. I'm going to take the Chargers in this one. I think the Chargers are a better team all around. I do love their quarterback. He's also my starting quarterback in my big money fantasy league. So I do like Justin Herbert a lot. I think that this Chargers offense is too much for Tennessee. I don't think Tennessee is very good at all. So I'm going with the Chargers.
I'm Chargers too.
Wash.
Let's move on.
All right. Seahawks, Lions in Detroit, inside the dome. Detroit looked really good last week. Seattle got embarrassed at home against a not-so-good Rams team.
Yeah, I took Seattle. Did we both take Seattle?
No, I had the Rams. Liar. we can play it back. It's on tape. So
stop that.
The Seahawks and Lions. Who you got?
I got the Lions. Yeah, I don't have much to say after that. Their defense, I think, is going to get better as the year wears on, unless they have some really bad injuries.
I'm going with the Lions too. They leaned on David Montgomery a lot last week.
Yep.
He had 21 carries.
Yeah,
I
Jared
believe.
Goff wasn't that good in that game.
Yeah, Jared Goff was not very good in that game. He did throw for 250 yards.
Yeah,
But, I mean,
he didn't have a pick. Oh, I could be wrong.
But I don't think he had an interception last week. But that team, the Lions team, is pretty damn good. So I'm taking the Lions over the Seahawks at home. Then we got another good game. I think is going to be a decent game. I'm actually this one's going to be one that has my eye. You got Chiefs and Jaguars.
Are you picking a lot of games to watch instead of the Bears game right now?
I'm picking what we could turn. What we
They're
could
probably
turn
going to be on CBS. You would think that this game's going to be on CBS.
It is on CBS.
So we're going to be able, even though we can watch any game, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got the Chiefs and Mahomes. I trust. I mean, I don't really like Trevor Lawrence, but
yeah. So in Mahomes, I trust.
Yeah.
But in Matt Nagy, I don't. and so with Matt Nagy being at the helm and Matt Nagy doing the play call, I feel like this offense is going to struggle. Jacksonville gave them a run for their money last year in the playoffs in Kansas City. I don't think that this Jaguars team is as good as they were. So I'm going with them. I'm going with the Jaguars this week.
No one knows what you're going to say when you're explaining these games. Like, I have no idea what team you're going to pick.
So I'm picking the Jaguars in this one. I think the Jaguars are going to pull off the upset. So then we've got a snoozer of a game. This is probably the who wants to win it less game of the week. It is the Colts and Texans, 12 o'clock on Fox in Houston. I'm going with the Colts here. I think the Colts are a better team. I think Anthony Richardson is better than CJ Stroud.
Mm-hmm.
I think that they've got more weapons in Indianapolis. I think Indianapolis is a better team than what they showed last week. So I'm going with Indy to get in the win column.
Yeah, me too. I'm going to go with Indianapolis. I do think they're the better team. I'm not doing it because you're picking them.
You're just trying. What you're trying to do is keep pace. That's what you're trying to do. I see what you're doing.
Stop that.
I see what you're doing. Make your own pick. Go with who you think is going to win.
I'll pick first next time.
If you've got to spin every week, you've got to spin every week.
Stop that. Why not? Stop it.
So then we get to the later games on Fox. We got the 49ers against the Los Angeles Rams.
Oh, come on.
I think we're both going to be on the same team here, but who you got?
49ers.
Okay.
Probably the best coach in the league.
Yeah.
And probably the best team in the league. Just the team around, if you minus the quarterback. I mean, whatever. You could say whatever. We can argue about Brock Purdy. He's definitely not a top 10 quarterback. He just has one of the best teams around him.
They were one of the two teams last week that came out and showed in week one that it didn't matter what week it is. They're not going to have a down week. They're a really good football team.
Well coached.
The 49ers and Cowboys both look like two just juggernauts in the NFC. So yeah, I am taking the 49ers on this one.
And in the Super Bowl.
I think it might be a closer game than it was last week for the 49ers just because it's a divisional game. Those divisional games are tough and you're on the road. But give me the Niners in this one. Then we've got the Giants and the Cardinals. You expect the Giants to turn it around in this one?
God, I did the Giants last week just because
they lost by 40.
I know.
Good call.
They have to turn it around, right?
It can't be worse. I mean, I guess it could. You could lose 50-0.
How's Kyler Murray's ACL doing? He's still out. I'm gonna go with the Giants. Fucking again. Jeez.
I'm with you. I'm going Giants too. The Cardinals are just bad. I mean, they're going to be a bad team all year. I think they're trying to go 0-17. They really want Caleb Williams. I really want them to get Caleb Williams just so the Bears don't. So are we
already talking about drafting a quarterback?
I think you have to think about the possibility if the Bears are going to be in the top half of the draft and it's not Carolina's pick. So I think you have to talk quarterback possibly if they are in the top half of the draft.
Get your mouth shut. Get your mouth shut, jerk.
But I don't expect the Cardinals to even compete in this game. So I'm going with the Giants. Then we've got Jets and Cowboys in Dallas. The Jets season
Zach Wilson
is on Zach Wilson. Might be on Tom Brady very soon. I've heard Tom Brady. I've heard a bunch of retired quarterback names
Yes.
since Aaron Rodgers went
Brett
down.
Favre?
No, I heard Tom Brady. I heard
Drew Brees?
Phillip Rivers.
Stop that.
I've heard a few names come out there, but right now it's on Zach Wilson, and I don't think it matters. The Cowboys are so good. It's in Dallas. They might win by 40 again.
So you're taking the Jets.
I'm taking the Cowboys.
But you're taking the Jets.
I'm taking the
The
Cowboys.
Jets. I'll take the Cowboys.
No, I got the Cowboys in the landslide. I
Yeah.
don't think this one's close. Broncos and Commanders. This might actually be a very good game. This one's in Denver. Denver did not look very good last week under Sean Payton. They haven't looked good all preseason under Sean Payton. I don't think that their quarterback looks very good. I'm going with the Commanders here. I think that the Commanders are a lot better than people think that they are, and I'm sticking with them. I like Sam Howell. Brian Robertson Jr. has been a stud over there. I'm sticking with the Commanders. Jesus. I just said two names. You didn't even know they were on the team, did you?
I don't know what to take here. I'll take the Commanders.
Son of a bitch.
I don't know. With Russell Wilson, I just can't.
I know.
After last year and last week's game, no.
Yeah. I'm with you.
And I thought he'd be better under Sean Payton. I like Sean Payton, but yeah.
And then the Sunday night game of the week, which I don't know why they decided to have it as the Sunday night game of the week. But it is an AFC East showdown, and it is the Dolphins at the New England Patriots. I'm going to let you go first on this one.
I think a similar quarterback went into New England last year, Justin Fields, even though I think he's better than Tua, but I could be wrong about that after Tua's last week. It's hard for me to go with the Patriots, so I'm going Dolphins.
Yeah, I'm going Dolphins too. Everybody's talking about how good that Patriots defense was against the Philadelphia Eagles. The Dolphins are just too high powered. They got too many weapons.
Yeah.
And right now Tua's not playing with a concussion yet. So,
Exactly.
I mean, he is just one play away from getting one, but he's not playing with one yet. So I'm riding with the Dolphins until Tua is concussed. So let's go Dolphins. We're both on the Dolphins there. We got 2 Monday night games, and then we'll get to our Bears. 2 Monday night games this week. One starting at 6:15 Eastern, the other starting at 7:15 Eastern. Why they started them 1 hour apart is beyond me. But you just kind of pick who you think is going to be the better game. I think they're both actually going to be pretty good games, though. You got the Saints and the Panthers in Carolina. I'm going with the Saints. I like the Saints defense.
Saints too.
I like Derek Carr.
You should have let me pick first, but whatever.
Chris Olave. I like all the weapons. So I'm going to go with the Saints. See, ones that I know we're going to be on together, I'm picking them first just so it makes it seem like you're just following me. Then we got Browns and Steelers.
All right.
It is the Browns and Steelers in Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh
looked really bad last week, but it is a Mike Tomlin-led team. Cleveland looked very, very, very good against the Cincinnati Bengals.
For defense.
Yeah.
Myles Garrett, that is a thing.
Yes, he's a dog.
That guy is scary.
He's a dog for sure.
I mean, and Justin Fields is probably already having nightmares.
So are we both? We're both on the Browns.
Yeah, gonna have to.
All right, we're both on the Browns, and then at noon in roughly about 45 minutes, we've got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus our beloved
Your Chicago Bears.
The
Should
Bears.
I put the hat and glasses back on?
The Bears. I'll let you go first.
I just think they have to win, man. I think they have to. I mean, I think there's got to be a reaction to what happened last week from Justin Fields, and he's got it. I think the one thing the kid does do well is he can relax and calm down and be himself and not play with his head so much. Like, He's just got to get out of his own way in some ways just to win this game. I think this is a winnable game. I'm going Bears.
All right. Look, you're right. They do have to win this game, but just because you have to win a game doesn't mean you will win a game.
No.
The Cubs had to win last night. They needed a win to move up in the wild card standings, and they didn't do it. They didn't pull it out. End up losing in 13 innings.
Shut up.
I don't think the Bears win this week. I don't. I think they're 0-2 after this week. I need to see a lot of improvement in order for this Bears team to win. Just for the sake of not wanting to spin the wheel, I'm going with Tampa Bay.
Oh boy.
I'm going with Tampa Bay because I just think that that's what's going to happen. And now it's time.
We're spinning the wheel.
It's time to spin that wheel.
You think I don't know the law? Wasn't it me who wrote it? And I say that this man has broken the law. Right or wrong, we had a deal. And the law says, bust the deal, face the wheel.
Bust the deal and face the wheel.
The drama.
It is the wheel of death.
Oh my god.
We have a bunch
Brought
of
to you by
punishments
US Bank.
on this wheel, as you can see. We have donate $50 to a charity of your co-host's choice.
Ooh, I like that one.
We have donate $20 to the co-host sports betting site.
God, I don't even have a site.
We have the Ice Bucket Challenge.
All right.
We have do an entire show in the costume of co-host's choice.
Stop that.
We have a day of drinking on you. It means you pay for it. I don't actually drink on you. Go to a pro sporting event to cheer for the other team on camera. Hand over your social media account for 24 hours.
Oh my god.
Eat an edible before the next show.
Yes. That one. That could be a thing.
Prank call Hallis Hall to purchase the Chicago Bears.
Yes. On the show.
On the show. Yeah, most of these are actually all of these are going to be done on the show. We're going to do them on the show.
Okay.
Lunch on you. Again, you're buying lunch. I'm not eating lunch on you. Do an entire show blindfolded. That'll be pretty interesting.
Especially that'll be an interesting Fitz gibberish.
This is the one that's probably going to kill me a little bit, which is the hot sauce challenge throughout the show.
Oh, yes.
Pick a portion of body hair to be waxed. One strip of wax.
Stop that.
You have to pick the body part.
Oh, God.
Go clean shaven for a week.
That's going to be a tough one.
Crack an egg on your wife's head without them knowing.
Oh, my God. I did not see that one. I don't remember it. Did I read this drunk?
Do an entire show wearing a cheese head. And eat a handful of Bean Beazled jelly beans.
I don't want to puke.
I mean, those are they're bad. I've played it with my kids. Bean Boozled is rough. Especially if you get all the bad tasting ones in one. Like if you get dog food, spoiled milk, and rotten eggs all in one handful, you're going to be in trouble.
I have to do a handful.
I mean, at least 4 or 5.
Right.
That's, either way.
Some of these are tough.
So here's how we're going to run it though. I'm going to let you pick a number 1 through 3, and we're going to do this every week. You get to pick, do we spin the wheel once, twice, or 3 times? Because then we're going to see the 2 that you could have had, but then missed out on. Or you're just going to spin it once and just go with whatever goes.
Once.
You're spinning it once.
Yeah.
Are you ready to spin that wheel?
Yes.
Here we go. What is the punishment this week?
Come on, Tina Turner. Come on, Tina. Come on, Tina Turner. Come on,
one of
Tina
the
Turner.
To come on,
You're
Tina
my
Turner.
private dancer, Tina Turner.
Here for the road team. Sir, We are going to one of the
Almost. There's
final
a
White
lot
Sox
on
games
there.
of the season. And you are going to cheer on the road team, and I will be recording it.
Can we do the Bears?
Nope, we're going to a White Sox game.
Do the Bears?
No, it's a punishment. You don't get to be happier in a punishment. So we will be going to a White Sox game. We will have video evidence. As soon as I put this hot poker in my ass, I'm going to chop my dick off. We will have some video evidence that we were at the White Sox game, and
I just can't do it.
That our guy was cheering for the other team. And there will be no telling the people around us that this is a punishment.
Oh, why not?
Nope. Nope. Not a thing.
Bruce Willis was able to
Not
do
a
it
thing.
in Die Hard with a Vengeance.
You better hope we're not sitting next to a lady with fat folds.
Oh, my yes. I'm going to get shot. It's not even a joke.
So we will be going to a White Sox game. You will be able to catch the footage. We're going to play it after we go to the game. We have to go to the game first. Yeah. But once we do it, we will be playing video footage on the show. Crazy. It will be posted on the Facebook page. We might even go Facebook Live with some of it. See how this works out. But enjoy the game, everybody. It is Bears. It is Buccaneers. Our guy Ryan picked the Bears, expects them to win because they have to win. I expect them to be just as bad because that's what they are.
I'm like that interviewer from Germany who asked the Philadelphia's coach last year in the Super Bowl if it was a must-win game.
Yes.
He actually asked that question.
But It is time to get out of here.
Yeah.
Till next time.
Go Bears.
Till next week. Bear down. Go Bears. I can't even say that convincingly anymore. Goodbye, everybody.
Are you as mean as you look in the films?
Well, it depends what films you're looking at.